to the right of you?
That's right, I'm here.
Mr. Lee is here.
Oh, who's sitting to the right on the board? Anybody? Or
Just
Nobody's over there.
Hello,
they're all,
hello.
they're all
Vaughn.
to the
Good
left?
morning. This
That's
meeting is called to
Vaughn
order.
and,
Here, look.
I'm Kathleen Dowling, Vice President, and this is OCA's open session for September 25th, 2024. Thank you for joining us today. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Secretary Evelyn Thomas.
Video disclaimer. This general session is being filmed and posted on the member portal of the Keystone Pacific website. If you speak during homeowner comments, your image and comments will be included in the filming. Private audio or video recordings are prohibited. Please silence cell phones. Roll call. President Roxanne Rimmel.
Absent.
Vice President Kathleen Dowling.
Present.
Treasurer Lynn Linzinski.
Present.
Director Teresa Chamberlain-Spradlin.
Present.
Director Lisa Bagat.
Here.
Director Kirk Conant.
Present.
And of course, I'm here. Secretary Evelyn Thomas here.
To me? Yes. Okay, now we're looking at the minutes for August 28th.
It's approval.
Pardon me? Oh, sorry, let's back up one. Okay, we have the agenda in front of us. Also, for those of you attending, there are agendas in the back. Also, the strategic plan. We're reviewing the minutes for the last board meeting, August 28th. Are there any changes to the agenda noted? Okay, Secretary Thomas, the only thing I noticed was at the very end, did not say what time the meeting adjourned.
Thanks for coming. You're welcome. You're up early.
So that's all, that's the only correction I found. Anybody else? Do we vote to, motion to accept? Is there a motion to accept the minutes as read and received?
Make the motion, we accept the minutes.
You gotta turn it on.
Oh, I turn on the mic. It's not turning on. The light's not coming on.
You gotta hold it in.
No, the light's not coming on. I make a motion, we accept the minutes from last general session board meeting in August.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now we're moving on to approve the minutes.
I apologize.
Sorry.
Minutes instead of the agenda.
What did you say?
She made her motion about the minutes.
I apologize, I made the motion about the minutes, not the agenda. Do we need to I think we need to do both separate.
We approved the minutes.
Okay.
And did we approve the agenda?
That's what I'm saying, point of information.
Okay.
Vaughn, can you read and see where, because there's a little confusion about the motion, if they approve the minutes or if they approve the agenda.
Right now, we
Yes.
approve the minutes.
So go back and approve the agenda.
All right. We're going to look at the agenda now. Are there any changes to the agenda for today?
I don't have any.
If not,
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
all in favor? Okay. that everybody except one?
Abstain.
Lisa abstains.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we go to reports.
We have to do the, we have to do the executive session disclosure.
Thank you, everyone.
On September 6th and September 9th, 2024, special session meetings were held. On September 13th, 2024, emergency executive session was held. And September 23rd, executive session meeting was held, where the board of directors discussed some or all of the items related to the following: litigation or potential litigation, matters relating to the formation of contracts with third parties, member discipline, member delinquency, including payment plan requests, personnel matters, and our approval of executive session meeting minutes.
All right, next we have the president's report, and I'm reading this from Roxanne, who's not here today. And Roxanne says, "Greetings from down under. Today, as I enjoy my vacation in Australia and New Zealand, Vice President Kathleen Dowling will lead our general session. One of the things I like best about traveling to a foreign country is the chance to experience how culturally we are different, but also more importantly, what we have in common. We enjoy a microcosm of that concept here in Oceania with 932 homes. Do we concentrate on the differences that divide us, or is our life more enriched by noticing the things we have in common? We are all in our golden years, and at times each of us will need a little neighborly help. At that moment, when our neighbor needs help, we don't hesitate a minute by considering our differences. At this time of year, when we are considering giving our support to a presidential candidate, let's remember to respect our neighbor who may think differently than us. Most important, if you are putting up signs, flags, or banners, residents must follow our governing documents. You can find those documents on oceanaseniors.org, thanks to our hub and web coordinator. Under the heading Document, you will find Resident Handbook. Page 4 clearly states the rules for displaying political signs, flags, or banners. Thank you for following these rules and have a great month." Well said, Roxanne. All right, with that, I have a couple of updates. Number one, the brush clearing on the slope behind the garden was completed last weekend. Number two, the tree contract with Forestry Group was signed yesterday. The Forestry Group will be here from 10:28 to 11:11, weather permitting. For this contract, we focused on removing trees that are dead or are a safety hazard. 32 trees will be removed and 52 trees will be trimmed. In early 2025, with a new budget, we will focus on more tree trimming. If you have trees in need of trimming, you can contact me, the general manager, or the landscape chair via email. Thank you very much.
Secretary's report. Okay. Today accumulates the 5-month process to create the 2024-2025 strategic plan. The OCA Board of Directors accomplished this goal with the help from OCA staff and the OCA membership. We took into consideration the membership's desires for this community. We thank you for providing input, feedback, and suggestions for OCA's short-term and long-term goals. The Board of Directors conducted their annual strategic planning workshop on May 9, 2024, held a resident town hall on June 9, 2024, and a follow-up to the 2024 strategic planning workshop on June 11, 2024. During the strategic planning workshop, the Board of Directors completed an extensive review of the strengths, growth areas, residents' desires, and the future of this community. The board discovered there are many projects we need to set in motion. Some will take a matter of months, some are ongoing, and some will take years to accomplish. Positive point is we have a plan to tackle these issues. This board will focus on improving communication between board, staff, and membership, update and improve effectiveness of technology, increase funding resources, reduce financial risks, work to resolve current legal issues, update documentation on policies and procedures, improve effectiveness of association management, support committees, chairs, and volunteers, and finally, the care, repair, and beautification of the common area. OCA is a work in progress. It will take time, effort, and the dedication and commitment of the membership as a whole to make it happen. Copies of the strategic plan are available on the table located towards the entrance of the auditorium. In the future, OCA board will place the PDF file version of the strategic plan on the website. Once again, thanks to all the residents that attended the June 9th Town Hall and provided feedback, suggestions, and ideas to create this board's term strategic plan.
Thank you, Evelyn. Treasurer's report, Lynn?
Our August whoops, I know. Our, you guys are gonna miss me when I'm not able to do that. The August financial reports are the first ones that we've received from Keystone. And for the first ones after transition, they're in good shape. The income reported is complete and accurate, including reserve revenues. And the expenses reported are short because of the transition of invoices from First Service over to Keystone. We're tracking those. We know how much they are, and adjusting for that, we had a net income of approximately $75,000, which was just about what we had projected. If foreseeing anything really unforeseen, we should continue to see a positive end, well, breaking even, not positive, but in good shape at the end of the year. We are still working on last year's audit. We've come to a couple of disagreements with the auditor, and we're working through those. But that's a high priority. The operating fund has a, we're looking here, once we subtract out our liabilities, we have an unencumbered balance of approximately $284,000. The reserve fund has approximately $1.1 million in cash and investments. The activities fund has a balance of $13,000, which is right on budget for them as well. Again, our actual expenses are looking like they're going to come in pretty close to what we had projected. We're seeing, we'll be watching. We have 90 days left, and we're watching month by month. If we find that there is some extra money somewhere, particularly in reserve, something came in costing less, or something was not done this year for one reason or another, we will try to put something else in there to utilize that money wisely for a project during this fiscal year. In terms of 2025 budget, we're actively working on that. I have put together the preliminary numbers that come from the treasurer and was very pleased to be able to kind of hand that off to the general manager this year. Vaughn has those numbers and is reviewing them. We have several meetings coming up with the finance committee, the budget team, the executive committee, and then there will be a town, not really a town hall, but like a town review and ask questions, time to hear about the budget. There'll be two opportunities, Friday, October 18th, and Saturday, October 19th. Both days, 1 to 3, it'll be the same thing. You don't need to come both days, but come and hear about what it looks like for next year and why. All of the, you know, we've split it down to exactly what is caused, what's going up, what's going down, and you'll be able to see and understand next year's budget and what it looks like we'll each be paying next year. Then the final budget will, we're hoping to have that to the board at the board meeting next month for final approval. So come out on the 18th and 19th, hear what's going on.
What was that time again, please?
From 1 to 3, either day.
Is that it?
That's it for me.
Okay, next we have the homeowners forum, and I understand Vaughn would like to have a few words first.
Okay.
The purpose of the homeowner comment section or homeowner forum on the agenda is to exchange ideas and information. It allows homeowners to have a voice on association matters. It is an opportunity for homeowners to provide information on an agenda topic or express concerns or opinions on things under the board's authority. But please, it's not a time for a gripe session. These board meetings are Oceana's monthly business meetings, and everyone attending should act accordingly. As reminders, the homeowner comments section is a time for speaking to the board members only, not to other homeowners attending the meeting. Everyone, those speaking and those listening, needs to be respectful, civil, and keep personal criticism out of their comments. If a commenter appears to be venting or ranting on an issue, their speaking time will come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you. And our first homeowner this morning is John from Unit 12. There should be a microphone there that you can press to turn on.
Just hold it in until you get light.
The mute button.
So they
Why
said,
would you do that?
they said,
It's falling apart.
here you go, hold it close.
Okay, good morning. My name is John Misevich. I'm in Unit 12, number 54. I'm going to talk to the board about painting that's occurring right now. My house was recently painted in the last couple of weeks. I'm not complaining. I'm not griping. I'm presenting facts. All right? First of all, other than getting a placard on your door, there's no indication of when people are going to show up to paint. They come and go. It's not like somebody from the contractor comes up the first day and say, hey, this is my point of, I'm the point of contact. If you have any issues, call me. There's nobody from the HOA comes up, facilities manager, nobody comes up and says, here, if you have issues, call me. You're the homeowner. You feel like you're a tenant in a HOA-owned property. And if you try to contact the office, you might get a response the next day, you might not. So it would be nice to have people, somebody you could call and talk to resolve that when you have issues. If you try to talk to a worker, unfortunately, only one of them speaks English. So you got to find that guy so you can tell him. You can't, I don't know who the foreman is. If there is a foreman, I couldn't identify it to you. I've emailed the general manager, I've emailed the facilities manager, we've had some discussions. I've talked to painters. They finished my house 2 weeks ago. All communication has ended. Seems like the more questions you ask, the more you get ignored. Right? If I just sat in my house and didn't say anything, then nobody'd be bothered and they wouldn't, I wouldn't have to be ignored. I'm wondering who's supervising the contractor. Anybody's ever painted, the prep phase is important. There's no indication that anybody other than the contractor is self-inspecting himself. I pointed out several areas to multiple painters and the facilities manager, and all they did was basically paint over it. They did a little bit of prep, but some of those issues are still there. I've noticed several other areas since I've walked around my house since it's been painted. So their method is just paint over stuff. The painters have moved on, so it's done. I'll deal with it. Let's talk about fascia repair. Back in March, we got a letter from the HOA office with two options. The HOA would charge you $65 a foot. The contractor, AF General, would charge $50 a foot. Turns out that's incredibly overpriced. I, like a lot of my neighbors, went with the contractor because it was HOA recommended. The letter came from the HOA office to use the contractor. Right? It said, sign this quote and return. The HOA office was acting as the intermediary between the homeowner and the contractor. When you signed the contract, you didn't send it to the AF General, you sent it to the HOA office. Why that is, I don't know. Turns out my 32 feet initial estimate turned into 109 feet. Do the math at $50 a foot, all right? At that point, it was too late.
Excuse me, John, your time is up.
Okay, so anyway, the contractor, they screwed up my edge dread, my drip edge. I've had to hire a roofing contractor to come and fix things. Again, who's protecting the homeowners? I can protect myself. I got played, but I can deal with that. Who's protecting the other homeowners that don't know what I know about contracting and
Thank
building
you.
stuff?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, John and Vaughn. May I give you his page to get back to him?
He has I emailed him 2 weeks ago and I've heard nothing back, so
Well, we're going to give it to him so he sees it again. Thank you.
that's not going to change anything.
Okay, how about Gail? And then after Gail, we'll give this to Lori, right behind her, Lori, so you can have yours to read, okay? So Gail and then Lori. And Lori, if you want to come get yours now, you'll have it. Could you pass that to Lori for yours?
Before you begin, when you have 1 minute, I'll just put up my finger just to let you know.
I will be just 1 minute. I'm brief. Once again, I'm here to voice my concerns, and there are many. Last year, I spoke about my concern regarding the spa at the pool. I suggested a new sign that pointed out that children should not be permitted in the spa. This concern was assigned to 2 board members. What happened? Nothing. I proposed many months ago that we needed some sort of security system. We have homeless entering our non-gated community, bathing in our hot tub, and using our showers. The answer was, this is an invasion of privacy. What privacy? Want to explain that to the community? Haven't done that thus far. Pool furniture being stolen. We paid for that furniture, and yet nothing. I see, as so many others, that we planted roses at the end of at the entrance of Oceana and removed the other plants, understandably. My understanding is that the LSC decided that. Roses? We have an abundance of beautiful succulent plants at our garden. Why not use that at no cost? And our compliance issues being followed up on. And quite frankly, I don't want to hear about CCRs and Davis Sterling. Legal issues are relayed, however, in legal terms. Who understands those legal terms? Not me. Why not explain in summary what you are talking about in layman's terms? At an end, it is my belief that this community is a mess, and it looks that way. Maybe if you thought about the aesthetics, making this place a bit more classy, updating the auditorium that looks like a school gymnasium, the entranceway of Oceana, the front office, the clubhouse entranceway. It is a known fact that people feel better when things look better. And as someone once said to someone else, do better, and you will brighten the community. Maybe I care a little bit too much. Maybe I'm a newbie that's only been here for 2 years. But as I have said previously, we hear and we see. I ask you once again, look at the small stuff that can actually make a difference for us. What is taking so long?
Thank you, Gail. I'm going to give your concerns to Lynn, who will follow up with Gail. Thank you, Lynn. Okay, next is Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. I'm sure by now you're aware of the wonderful car accident that happened on Vista Campana North day 2 ago. Somebody speeding turned the curve, went up the street, either hit the tree and then the fire hydrant or what, but by somebody who was watching it happen, they were speeding, and it's questionable as to the state that they were in. Apparently it's being handled by the Oceanside Police Department. My question is, can we look into, we may not be able to do it, but we could certainly look into having some sort of speed bumps placed. Those are not, I know, those are not favored by anybody to my knowledge, except for those who speed a lot. If you have speed bumps, you go over them like you're supposed to, they're not gonna hurt your car. Whether they're painted on visually so that it breaks the eye and people think, oh, or it's asphalt laid down by our own people who work here, so Oceana pays the materials, maybe not the labor. There's plastic ones that can be bought. I live on the main street, and I dearly wish I had one of those speed detector things, because more than half the people go through here at a speed that's ridiculous. The other thing is very sensitive, so I'll just touch on it. Our pets. Please be aware of your pets when you're walking them. Stuff happens. Don't let them out of your sight for 5 minutes. End of that story. And I forgot what the other thing was. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Lori, there is a speed control ad hoc committee, and Sandy Reiser is the chair. Sandy, would you mind getting back to Lori about what's going on with your committee? Thank you so much. So Sandy will get back to you about the speeding. Thank you, Lori. Okay, next we have Sandy Reiser. Perfect.
Good morning, Sandy Reiser, Unit 3, House 41. I have 4 things today. The first thing I want to say is my comments were a bit on the agenda that was posted, which looks basically nothing like the one we received today. I don't believe that's allowed. So my first thing is on the rescinding policy of providing homeowners full board packets. The agenda has the motion as of January 2023 that this was implemented, but that's incorrect. It was January of 2002 and motioned by Chris McLaughlin. On October 26, 2022, procedures were approved by the board in general session. So if the board votes today to rescind the approval, they must go through the process to have homeowner review for 30 days, and then the board can proceed to go as they wish, seeing those comments. I have those here. I have that procedure here if anybody needs it. The second thing is common area modifications. I see it's been removed from the agenda, but I wanted to reiterate why we did this on last year's board. It was to give us structure for homeowners on reasonable and removable changes. That was it. We spent numerous hours working on it, and we involved Krieger Law Firm in order to protect OCA and the land lease. The structure is important as homeowners are making these modifications already, and without this structure costs the homeowners and the association time and money. This was created to help owners, and sitting on it for 7 months, which I guess is 8 months now, has not helped the homeowners of the association. The next thing is the strategic plan. So this is the first time I've seen it. So I was glad to hear that you're going to send it through to get posted on the website. As the website coordinator, I thank you. And I think also we should include it in the e-blast, on an e-blast as well. So make sure people see that. So when you do the hub submission, if you could do that, that'd be great. And the last thing is the ad hoc for speeding on Vista Campana. So my report was in your packet of where we were, but I want you to know that as of yesterday, that report has been updated. I don't have it for you, but I have the information if you care to hear it at any time, because after the accident happened on Monday, I contacted the traffic engineer at the city, she times at the police department, and I have more information.
Thank you, Sandy. Okay, next, Donald Betts.
Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good. My question and issue of last month's agenda was there was some comments made about the least equalization. You know what I mean. And I take issue with that. That what this fight has done is put a burden on the HOA and the community but when you feel you've been wronged, you're gonna fight like crazy to make it right. And it pits neighbor against neighbor, which is a shame, really. And there was one person here last week, I'm not gonna name, but brought it up, and she's, well, what can I say? In the speed humps, both my wife and I separately have made recommendations to, or suggestions to put the speed humps in, and nothing ever happened. And now this is a good example of what happens when you don't have the speed humps. And I'd hate to see somebody get hit and killed or very badly injured. So I just want to put my 2 cents in, and I thank you.
Thank you, Don. Are there any other homeowner comments?
You didn't get mine? It's there.
The one from,
Me.
no, sorry, where,
It's
does
folded
anybody
in
have
half.
Anita's?
It's there.
It was this one right here.
Oh,
Anita Romaine, Unit 14, House 13.
sorry, Anita.
I've been here since '06, and this is against no one. It's just a policy that I think is an unwritten policy, but I think it needs to be considered. Every activity we've ever had has been collected, the money for that has been collected by the office. All of a sudden we have the drama club collecting money for their activity in November. I really don't believe that any resident should be responsible for any money for an activity that is for the Oceana people. So I really would reconsider having the office collect money. If they want to set up a policy on how the names are listed or whatever, so they have a total recall of who paid, that would be good, and give it to the front desk there, so it'll always be there for the tickets. But I really think that no resident should be responsible for collecting any money for an activity in Oceana. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Vaughn, can I give you her concern to follow up on?
I can follow up on that.
Lynn would like to follow up on that. Thank you. Thank you, Anita. All right, are there any other homeowner comments this morning? All right, thank you so much. All right, now we're going to move into, do you have any more financial report?
We had I included that in the treasurer's report.
I included the financial report in the treasurer's report. The financial statements are in the board packet. They're a little difficult to read, but if anyone has questions about them, feel free to give me a call.
All right, thank you, Lynn. Next, we have the management report from our general manager.
The 2023 audit has finally resumed. Lynn and I are in discussion with the auditor, Newman CPAs, to get this wrapped up. We had 3 potential candidates for Adam to add to his maintenance crew. 2 of them have to be canceled because of issues in their background report. But we're still interviewing other candidates. We have 3 more to do this week. Whether or not we need more office staff is something I'm still evaluating. The 2025 reserve study contract has been signed. That will begin shortly. The 2025 Inspector of Elections bid has also been approved, and the election process will start in the coming weeks. Work orders continue to come in. I have roughly about 165 of them to sort through to make sure they're completed. That's down about 40%.
Whoops.
Most are landscaping related. There are some maintenance issues as well. I'm touring the community 1 to 2 units a week to jot down landscaping issues and, yes, compliance issues as well. This coming week, this week and next, I will be touring units 4 and 2. And those tours are not numerically ordered in any way. Whatever is most convenient or needs the most attention is where I go. Upcoming projects, extending recycled water use into the community, which is about 40% cheaper than potable water. Completion of the rebate program through the Metropolitan Water District, which will give the association roughly $60,000 in rebates. That will be done this week. Contracts going out to bid per the Finance Committee's request are pest control and uniforms. And the Cox contract is under review. On a general review, nothing specific at this point, but we're looking into it. And that's it for now. And I have Adam's maintenance report to bring to your attention. And these are numbers. And number one, number of work orders from August 1 to September 23rd. Open are 55. He's got less than I do because I'm reviewing other past ones to make sure they're done satisfactorily. He's closed 86 of them. 2 major repairs are done. Unit 14 lights out front from numbers 18 to 24, and the warm pool cover. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what he wrote. Number 3, successes. Unit 544 main water line repaired by ASAP Plumbing. Unit 1154 main water line repaired by ASAP Plumbing. Unit 1155 on the corner of 8th Street and House 1155 irrigation main line repaired by the maintenance team. Unit 125 collapsed figure 8 clean out, dug up and replaced with ABS pipe and converted to a double clean out. Unit 12 painting by AF General has been power washed to house number 64, preparation and painting completed to house number 59. Staffing, Andrea Parra is our new porter as of August 14th. And we, as I mentioned, we're currently conducting interviews to fill 3 maintenance technician positions. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we're moving into unfinished business. First up is common area modification ad hoc committee, and Secretary Thomas will address this.
The motion is to formally rescind the common area modification agreement until allowed by OCA's government documents.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
The motion, based on OCA's legal counsel, I move to revise the meeting procedures.
No, we're on the.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I went ahead. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, directors. The Common Area Modification Project Agreement, as approved by last year's board, was discussed by this board as a legal matter. The board decided that the previous approval of this Common Area Modification Agreement should be rescinded. It can be revisited once the governor documents and guidelines have been amended.
Okay, my discussion is, and this is in the packet. Okay, I'm like you, I'm getting this mixed up with.
Page 15.
Yeah. All right. No comment for me, sorry. Any other discussion? All right.
Call for vote.
Calling for the vote to formally rescind the Common Area Modification Agreement until allowed by OCA's governing documents. All in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. Teresa is going to give an oral report on her September fireside chat.
Hi, good morning. The fireside chat was held in the library on September 18th from 6 to 7. We had 6 residents attend. We had a very lively conversation concerning the following topics: flag etiquette, clubhouse security, landscape, utilities, and budget timeline. If I can, I am going to reply to these questions. It'll be in the November News You Can Use section of the Hilltop Highlights. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, next, OCA trademark logo use. Ellen Marcel would like to speak on this topic. Thank you, Ellen.
Or would you just like the motion read?
Yeah, I don't know what's in your packet, so I don't know what you have.
Okay, sorry. The motion is the Activities Committee T-shirt sales and the 503 Vista Bella Ad Hoc Committee for metal buttons to wear at the,
Planning Commission and City Council meetings.
thank you, would like permission from the Board of Directors to use the Oceana logo.
Second.
Discussion?
I'd like just a couple of things.
I want to just point out that that motion is on the agenda, so it is there. And I want to thank the Activities Committee for bringing that up. It would have been really easy to just do that, but it sets a precedence so that other people down the road who may have the idea of, oh, let's just put the logo on it, realize that they have to bring it to the board because that could get really out of hand. So I appreciate that. And that's all I have to say. Any comment on that? That's what we're talking about, whether they can use it or not. I think it's good. Okay. Any other comments? Call for vote.
Okay, if there's no other comment, let's call for a vote to approve the Activities Committee and the 503 Bella Vista Ad Hoc Committee. Let's approve their request to use the Oceana logo. All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. Okay, next.
I do have one comment. When the logo or any logo or anything that we consider to be of value concerning the brand here in our community, there should be someone who's responsible for making sure that the representation of the logo is in a professional manner. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be, but generally there's someone in charge of that. So I don't know whether that belongs with the hub or whether it belongs with the board. Just a comment.
Thank you. Okay, C, evacuation disaster plan. Teresa is going to discuss this.
I have brought a motion before the exec committee board to establish an evacuation assistance plan as in an ad hoc committee as part of the board's 2024 strategic plan. Background is that it was brought to my attention about exit routes if we had to do an evacuation and where we would redirect cars and using the golf course, for example. There was also part of that was the issue of people who are limited mobility. I'm one of those, and an assistance plan about how to help mobility challenged people out of their homes, etc. So this ad hoc committee is going to look at several areas, what's available through our city and fire departments, etc. The fire department, I believe it's fire department, could be police in conjunction. There's a program called CERT, and it is something that's connected with all these government agencies. They provide a training for the public. There's one coming up in mid-October, and I will ask to put that in email blast about the CERT training. There was a group that was looking at this kind of evacuation plan a while back. And so we will be looking at the pros and cons of why that wasn't put forward. Sometimes after a year or two, things can change. So we'll look into all that. And this committee will bring back, and we'll share it in the general board meeting or through appropriate emails, etc. Thank you.
So Teresa, could you read your motion?
Okay. My motion again is to establish an evacuation assistance plan ad hoc committee as part of the OCA Board 2024 strategic plan.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? No discussion? Move to vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, next we have board packet inspection of records. Evelyn.
The motion is based on OCA's legal counsel to revise the procedure adopted by the OCA January 2022-2023 board to provide the members the entire board packet. Based on OCA's legal counsel, I move to revise the meeting procedures adopted by the OCA January 2022-2023 board. The board will revise the board packet procedures and present it to the membership at the October General Session board meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I second.
Discussion?
I'm not sure that with the budget and everything else going on, that it would be October, it might be November. But I think it's a good idea as I look through this, and I'm looking at revising, because we have a management company that does a lot of this now. The dates when we have things done by and before need to be updated. And as a board, we need to hash out what goes into the packets, because we're not all in agreement. The council has recommended that we don't do that. So we're not rescinding it, we're revising it, and at that point, when we have recommended revisions, we will go through the process. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Other comments?
It was my understanding when we seeked counsel on this that there'd be two different backup detail, one provided to the membership and one for the board. The board packet included confidential information that should have been redacted. I just want to make sure we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. That as a community and as a homeowner here for 7 years, the more detail that can be provided, the better. We do need to be sensitive to confidential information, and that should just simply be redacted or removed rather than eliminate all these backup detailed documents.
Other discussion? Okay, well, for myself, yes, I agree with you, Kurt. It makes no sense to rescind this. It's a beautiful document. The last board did a tremendous amount of work putting it together. It covers more than just what is in the packet. And I can remember being on the other side of this, demanding, I want the information. I want it ahead of time. Where is it? So I'm not interested in throwing it all away, and we're going to do what we can. We have to vote on it, of course, but we're going to do what we can to revise it rather than rescind. All right, so do we have any more discussion?
Based on what Lynn brought up, because October is a huge month and we're going to focus on the budget and the projected budget for next year, I would like to amend my motion. Instead of bringing it back to the membership in October, bring it in November.
So amended? Do I have a
Yes.
second?
I'm amending my motion.
Okay, accept.
Yes.
All right.
So the new motion is, please forgive me, I lost my spot. Based on OCA's legal counsel to revise the procedure adopted by the OCA January 2023 board to provide the members the entire board packet and present it to the membership in the month of November.
I second.
All in favor? Passage unanimously, thank you. All right, next we have the Aladdin project. Director Lynn is going to take this one.
Meg Marple has submitted an Aladdin project request for replacing or repairing a wooden bench in Unit 8. It's it's on the side of unit number 106. It was at one time a really beautiful bench, and it has gotten weathered and needs to be restored and repainted. And they're going to take that on. It will be an Aladdin project so that they can raise the money to do this right. And I'm recommending that we approve that.
The motion again, please.
To approve the Aladdin project for restoring the bench in Unit 8 by home number 106.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, what I read...
Just-
Go ahead. Okay, what I read here is it says replace the wooden bench. I too thought it was restoring, but my agenda says to replace the wooden bench.
It says replacing the slats. They're going to replace some of the slats, but not the entire bench.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Kurt?
My understanding is that, yeah, some of these sleds need to be repaired. The work is not going, there's going to be no cost. The facilities committee and some of their volunteers are going to do it out of their own expense. So it's just a matter of looking for approval.
Great. Any more discussion?
I just want to say thank you to all the residents who are committed and dedicated to beautify the community at their own expense. Not only money, but work, blood, sweat, and tears. I just want to say thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, we're ready to take a vote on the motion for the Aladdin project. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, thank you. All right, next topic, care facilities. Director Teresa. Care/facilities committee. Teresa.
Okay, before I state the motion, I want to say thank you to the CARE Committee. The work of the CARE Committee has provided information and guidance to prioritize maintenance projects and to get them done. And Oceana has become a safer place for all of us as a result. And here's my motion. Based on the advice of the OCA insurance broker and legal counsel, the board will disband the CARE Facilities Committee effective October 1st, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Okay, there seems to be no discussion. All in favor of the motion to disband the Care Facilities Committee effective October 1st, 2024, please raise your hand. Okay. All but one, thank you.
I'm a no, for the record, not abstaining.
You're no.
I'm a
No, Kurt, no. Okay, thank you, Kurt. All right, committee updates.
Wait. Creation
Did I miss?
Yes, you did. Creation, election, nomination.
Thank you. Okay, creation of the election nominating committee. It doesn't say who's going to discuss this, so I'll just read the motion. The motion is to approve the creation of an election nominating committee to prepare the way for the 2025 annual elections. And Ellen was going to speak on that?
No. As chair.
No. Okay.
As chair.
Excuse me?
One of her as chair.
Oh, okay, and we want to appoint Ellen as chair, is that correct? Okay, is there documentation in this packet on that? I don't see it.
She's been working on it.
Okay.
Well, as
But they submitted documentation for the election nomination committee to last year's board, and we approved it.
Okay, all right. All right, so is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Discussion.
Could you reread the motion?
To approve the creation of an election nominating committee, to prepare the way for the 2025 annual elections with Ellen Marcel as chair. Do I have that right? Okay. More discussion?
I do.
All right.
I think strictly speaking, our governing documents say that the nominating committee will be recommended in November. I think the reason that we're doing it now is to allow time for that committee to to pull themselves together, figure out who's going to be on it and who's not, so that by November, we will be able to announce the names of the individuals according to that. And I think it's a good idea to understand that some of the people from last year are interested in serving on that committee again. And I think it's a good idea to give them the go-ahead to pull themselves together now, figure out what they need and don't need, to let us know what they need, and then we make an official announcement in November. So if that's the intent of this motion, then I'm all in favor.
Any other discussion?
It's my recollection as well that there was a recommendation by Tony to rename this committee. I don't remember what it was.
You voted on it.
And-
Election Coordinating Committee.
Yeah, it should be reflected in this motion.
Does somebody want to restate the motion, please?
What was the name, Sandy?
You guys voted on it in like April or May.
Right.
Election Coordination Committee.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ellen. That's the name of it. We voted on it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to read this motion one more time, unless there's further discussion. Okay, the motion is to approve the creation of an election coordination committee to prepare the way for the 2025 annual elections with Ellen Marcel as chair. All in favor?
No, I have more discussion on that.
I'm sorry.
If we haven't had the finalizing of the committee, how can we be appointing a chair of it? We just said we're going to be looking at who's going to be on the committee.
We should ask Ellen to provide the leadership for forming this.
Okay, if you want to change the motion, it's up to you.
I'd like to suggest that we change the motion to read and coordinate with Ellen on the creation of this committee. I believe that she would do a good job providing leadership to pull this committee together, and I would like to officially give her the authority to do that.
Okay. Ellen would be coordinator. All right. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Lisa, are you a no or an abstain? No. No. Okay. Thank you. Now we have other committee updates, but before we approve those, we should be doing the appointments first and the resignations. I have in my packet 2 resignations. Pasha Turley and Deborah Schwab have resigned from activities, sorry. And there was another one, Brian Young for the finance. I can't hear you. Brian Young for the finance committee. We would like to table that. Because we need more information. So we won't be voting on that unless there's an objection and discussion.
So my understanding is he's asking to be a volunteer.
For the finance
for
committee,
the
yes.
Finance committee? Okay. What is it that needs to be discussed, or why are we?
The finance committee.
Let me finish my sentence. I just don't understand why we're waiting when we have trouble finding volunteers.
Good point.
The finance committee structure and responsibilities is being changed. We're in the process of that transition, and as part of that, it's important that the members on the finance committee have background and experience related to the responsibilities they're being given. So that those members coming onto that committee are going to be vetted through the general manager. And he has not met with Vaughn and needs to before he can actually go on the committee.
Okay, has there been is there a document or a documentation of this new process of, in essence, an interview in order to be approved for a volunteer?
I'm going to refer you to the general manager.
Is that a no?
No,
We
I'm
don't
just
have
going
a
to refer you to the general manager.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good, thanks.
All right, do we need to vote on this? No, okay. All right. Okay, having said that, the committee updates, there are multiple, many. And if everybody has received them and reviewed them, I'd like to approve them all.
Wait, I think Ellen wanted to speak on the 503 Vista Villa Project Ad Hoc Committee.
Okay, thank you. I knew she was going to speak on one and haven't got to it yet. All right, thank you.
Ellen Marcial, Unit 7. Since this report isn't in the packet that we give out to the public, I'm going to read what's in the report just to keep everybody updated. Your 503 Vista Bella Ad Hoc Committee continues to work hard on our mission of keeping the community informed and engaged about the proposed apartment tower. Since being appointed by the OCA Board of Directors in May 2024, we have had 7 committee meetings. 2 subcommittees of the larger ad hoc committee have met with Oceanside City staff and senior management and with the leadership at the Coastline Church. In addition, we organized 2 town hall meetings for the community with Oceanside City Council member Eric Joyce and with Oceanside Mayor Esther Sanchez. The state law created in 2020 by Senate Bill 330 established a density bonus law for developments that offer low-income housing, which this one does. Since this project provides 8 low-income units, the project is entitled to an unlimited number of waivers unless there are adverse safety or health impacts as a result of the development. The ad hoc committee is finalizing the speaking points for the upcoming Oceanside Planning Commission and City Council meetings, and also working on mitigation efforts to offset the negative impact this development will have on our community. As soon as the Planning Commission and City Council dates are available, we will put the information out to the community via e-blast. Residents will soon be hearing about a petition to make overnight parking on Vista Campana permissible by permit only. Anyone with an address on Vista Campana will be able to get a permit from the city, but no one else will be able to park on Vista Campana between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. This means residents of the new apartment tower will need to find somewhere else to park. For more information on this or to become part of the 503 Vista Bella Ad Hoc Committee, please contact Committee Chair Ellen Marcial, that's me, at ellenmarcial39@gmail.com.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, backing it up a bit, the committee updates. I'm asking the board to consider these all as a consent agenda item. If everyone has received and reviewed the committee meeting minutes and is ready to vote on them as a whole, please say so. If not, discussion.
I'd like to know why there's no report from architecture. They normally submit their minutes.
I haven't received it. Has anybody else? And I know the chair was not there last month or this month, so that might be part of the problem.
Yeah, Jay does that.
The secretary was not there.
Okay. And did we also, Gail, did you resign from architecture?
I did.
Okay, if that has not been announced, I'm sorry, I would like to add that in. Okay, everybody that's in favor of accepting these committee minutes as received and reviewed, please raise their hand. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, so that about brings us to the end of this. The next board meeting is going to be October 30th at 9:30. It's been pushed out 1 week from the regular date because of the budget planning. We want to give everybody time to have a say on the budget and get all the meeting, what you're shaking your head, but okay. We want everybody to have input on the budget before we vote, so we're moving that meeting out. And
Does that cause a problem with activities or anything else?
No, it just doesn't match what we posted on the agenda up front.
Well, nothing.
right, and we apologize for that. We will get that straightened out. New manager. On the new manager. All right, now we're going to adjourn to executive session in 10 minutes. It's a legal executive session in the office.
Comments?
No homeowner comments this month? I'm sorry.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Jeez. Glad to have this, so.
Okay.
I know that.
You did, we had-
Right there.